This all started about a month ago, after I had done something pretty stupid now looking back on it. So the internet is a vast place with so many websites, and I was browsing through a ton of them, searching for one that fitted my needs. I was searching for a website that I could talk to someone specific with a webcam and a microphone enabled. The person I wanted to talk to was my internet best friend, Charlie. He had been my best friend for months now, and our chats had been constant the past few weeks. Every time I get back home from school, I'm on my laptop, messaging Charlie about everything that had happened to me that day. From the mundane to the insane, I tell him everything, and he responds back in the same way. And soon our conversations delve into many topics that we may never touch on again. We had been discussing recently about having a face-to-face, but we need to find a website perfect to fit our needs. I know that Skype and other websites would fit them perfectly, but we were searching for one you didn't have to sign up for. You see, our parents don't know about our daily chats, so we can't download something like that without an abundance of questions. We had finally found one though, and we began working on figuring out a way to get in the same chat. After a few messages, we both tried to press the button connect with a stranger at the same time, in hopes that they would connect and we could finally chat, but not without our code word banana to ensure that we were talking to each other. I was instantly redirected to this channel with a dark room, and I knew straight away that it wasn't Charlie. The person began messaging me in the chat, asking me questions while contemplating my complexions. I was stunned into a temporary silence. All movement of my body had ceased. After a few seconds, I gained back my senses and I closed the browser, sending a simple message to Charlie explaining how we should stop this. He reluctantly agreed, but only after I had told him my experience. I am certain that this was the starting point of these chain of events. What you are about to read is the documentation of these messages. October 1st, 2018. I had received a message on Discord when I was working on math homework that was due tomorrow in my 4th period. Out of pure boredom, I had checked the message, praying that it was Charlie or somebody that I knew I could talk to. Instead, I had received something much, much worse. As the chat appeared, a picture of me sat in front of my laptop stared back at me. I had my pajamas from the night before on, the cacti ones that I fell in love with while out shopping. I had a huge smile on my face, my eyes staring at the screen. The message underneath sent chills through my spine. Look at you all smiling in glee. Truly a sight I wanted to see. G. Who was G? What the hell did they want? How the hell did they capture a picture of me staring at my laptop? Many panicked thoughts along those lines rushed through my mind, which was unable to process this message. At first, I thought it was a prank, so I exited the chat and I went back to my homework. It still lingered in my mind, and I had to keep rubbing out constant mistakes I had made in the working out. I guess my mind was doubting it was a prank, since how could they have gotten a picture of myself the night before? I tried not to think about it for the rest of the day. October 13th, 2018. The second message was received on a Saturday when I was aimlessly browsing through YouTube, searching for some videos to watch. At first, I thought it was Charlie, because we had started a debate about life outside our universe, and we both wanted to convince the other to believe our views. When I saw the familiar picture though, I felt ill. I swear all the color from my face drained as I clicked on the message. A video appeared, awaiting to be played as I glanced at the message underneath it. Hearing you sing, God's angels are speaking. It's blessed but cursed. It's a voice for the keeping. G. Crap. I knew exactly what G was referring to, and it sickened me. 2 days ago, I had gone down the rabbit hole of singing some of my favorite band songs, searching up lyrics and karaoke videos to immerse myself into the performance. Sure, it was pleasant and enjoyable at the time, but I was unaware that I was being recorded. As my mouse hovered hesitantly over the video, I decided to press it to see if I was correct. Instantly, the soundtrack to one of the slower, more passion-filled songs of my favorite band echoed in my room. My voice followed soon after, my terrible yet pleasing to some voice. I paused the video and exited Discord, my heart racing. October 31st, 2018. I didn't expect to receive messages on Halloween, especially since all of my Discord friends explained that they were going out for the night. Whether it was going to a party or being forced to protect their younger sibling out of trick-or-treating, I was fairly certain that I was the only one not heading out. With boredom prickling my skin, the sound seemed to spark my excitement. I figured one of my friends had come back early and had sent me a message, since they knew that I wasn't going out, or that the main active group chat had picked up again. With all these positive assumptions racing through my head, I wasn't expecting the worst to appear. But by this point, I probably should have. The familiar profile picture that I had become accustomed to stared back at me, and I prepared for the worst as I clicked on the message. It took a while to load, but what appeared chilled me to the bone. A picture of me and my real-life friends stared back at me, all of us messing around and having fun. The picture had all of us with varied expressions. I was in a state of laughter. The friend next to me was surprised. The one above us was grinning, and my last friend was out of frame. I can't quite remember what would have caused these expressions, but I do know that they were harmless, which is why the messages underneath stuck out to me. Look at this. This is a disgrace. Don't trust those friends, or learn from mistakes. G. I didn't understand. What was G on about? I was good friends with those people and I had known them for a long time. There was no way that they would betray me, and I was adamant on that. I kind of resented G for assuming my friends would stab me in the back. In my state of anger, I sent a message back to G, a short one that told him to stay out of my business. Now sure, it wasn't the best first message to send to somebody who had pictures and videos of you, but I was more angry about him assuming my relationships with others. I never received a reply back from him. November 13th, 2018. It was cold in my house. The boiler had broken down a day ago and my parents were trying to contact someone. I was wrapped up in a ton of jumpers and dressing gowns, tightly snugged into my covers. My laptop was right in front of me. Screen dimmed as I stared at a short story. I began reading short stories to calm myself down, to take me away to a new reality that was more pleasant than the one I was currently in. The sound seemed to resonate in my mind, bringing back memories of me and Charlie. Many times that I had heard that noise, I had thought back to hilarious conversations with Charlie. It helped raise my mood as I clicked off the short story and onto Discord. My mood dropped when I saw G's picture. With a sigh, I clicked on the message and I awaited the response that I expected. After all, they were correct with their last poetic caption. A picture of me with tears streaming down my reddened face stared back at me. The pathetic pleading look in my eyes as my hair lay everywhere on my face. I felt sorry for myself, since I had never really seen a picture of me full-on crying before. The weeps and cries, the heartbreaking goodbyes. I long to reach out, but it's not very wise. G. The message was oddly comforting, despite the creepiness of it. I began thinking that maybe, just maybe, G did care for me. G was only trying to protect me from friends who betrayed me in the end. It was strange how they knew it would happen, though I wasn't in the right state of mind at the time to question that. The arguments I had gotten into with those friends broke me, and profanities and insults streamed from our mouths like waterfalls, each word stronger than the last. The screaming match turned into an insult match, with each person trying to break each other down till they finally stopped and caved into their feelings. I was the first to cave. Within seconds of caving, I quit the call, and I spent hours silently sobbing into my pillow. I couldn't believe I could trust those friends. Those friends who didn't even hesitate spewing insults my way. Friends who were dirty little snakes. I closed the message with a huff, trying my hardest to repress those horrid memories. December 4th, 2018. I hate this place. That was all that echoed through my head as I held back my anger, banging my small fist against the wall to release what couldn't be held back. A scream ruptured through the rhythmic beats that I had created. I stomped over to my desk and I sat down, hoping I could distract myself from this outburst. What caused it was simple enough. My mother had warned me about my grades when she saw that I didn't achieve a good score on one of my most recent tests. The warning turned into a lecture, and when I tried to explain myself, it transformed into an argument. Having an argument with my mother really searched back memories that I had tried to repress. The screams of my ex-friends seemed to echo from my mother's shouts, and I soon found myself lost to the frustration that unimaginable words were screamed to the one person I didn't want them screamed at. It came to an abrupt stop, with me being grounded for a week and being sent to my room. I obliged, but not without stopping up the stairs to annoy her even more. As I entered my room, I began my rant up top. I clicked on Discord first, and seeing G's profile picture again just added more fuel to the fire. What did this creep want now? I clicked on the message, watching it load slowly as I gritted my teeth. A blurry picture of me appeared, my fists raised in what appeared to be an angered expression on my face. Despite the blur, I noticed the clothes were identical to the ones that I had on now. A denim blue jacket, a pink top, and black jeans. I gulped, fear replacing anger as I looked at the caption underneath. The shouting, the curses, all unholy verses. I am upset about your choices. G. And this had to have been taken only minutes, maybe even seconds ago. I hadn't started this outburst until I was left in peace, which wasn't that long ago. I began freaking out. How often was G watching my every move? I knew that I must tell my parents. I knew that I should have told my parents, but I couldn't find the confidence to do. Thinking back on it now, I really should have told them what was going on. Explained about the site that I had entered, and told them about the creepy pictures of myself I was being sent, and the oddly poetic captions that haunted me every day. But I exited the message and I let it get lost in the sea of other ones. December 25th, 2018. Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year. Well, according to that one song by Andy Williams. In all honesty, that Christmas was the most wonderful time of the year. I had received tons of Christmas wishes from friends, unexpected but very appreciated gifts from my parents, and a delicious Christmas dinner. Once the day was over, I had found myself on my laptop once more. I was messaging Charlie about my Christmas, telling him things that I had been gifted and the wonderful time that I had had. He responded with his stories, and I could feel myself laughing as he had explained some story that had taken place on the same day but a few years back. It was then that that sound interrupted my laughter, and I had stopped. Charlie was already messaging me, and with G being silent for over a month now, I figured the worst. I exited my conversation with Charlie, allowing him to continue his second anecdote as I clicked on G's message. It appeared with a picture of me mid-laughter, my eyes closed and head back. I recognized the clothes in the picture to be the exact same clothes that I was wearing currently, and my breath fell uneven as I glanced at the caption. Is that laughter? A light of joy. It's beaming from you, one not to destroy. G. I was beginning to freak out now. This was just taken, and that photo had just been taken right now and it's sent to me. G was watching me through my entire conversation with Charlie, and they probably heard me uttering joking words to him. The panic seemed to spread, and soon enough I had closed the message and I asked Charlie for help. He wondered why and I explained everything to him. From the website that we had tried to use for the webcam before we got Discord, right to the creepy captions and pictures that G was sending me. Speaking about it really did help me out. February 12th, 2019. It had been a while since I had last heard from G, and following the advice Charlie had given me about blocking G, which I should have done sooner, but I guess I was slightly curious with the person and what they were going to send to me next, and it helped me move on significantly. It was why the message I had received that day scared me half to death. Somehow G had managed to unblock himself, and was back messaging me again. That familiar black profile picture stared at me. It taunted me. I suppressed back my fear as I clicked on the image, only to be greeted by my scared face. I looked as pale as a ghost, and my eyes were wide, staring at something shocking. I hadn't had a shocked expression on my face recently, until I saw the message appear on my laptop from G. Unsure and fearful, I glanced at the caption underneath. Paranoia is screaming. Your eyes are unreadable. Address this concern. I need to know. G. I bit my lip. The message from G sent off a demanding vibe. I didn't want to follow under the rule, give in and tell them that I was scared of them. Deep down I knew it was what they wanted, so I didn't reply. It was then that I followed up through with Charlie's backup idea. Sticky tape. I cut off a small piece and I placed it over my webcam, feeling satisfied that it would stop G from seeing me again. I knew that I should have done it sooner, but it arose a bunch of questions from my parents when they saw it. I made up an alibi that I saw creepy stories explaining how people spied through other people's webcams, so I covered mine to ensure they didn't spy on me. They bought it and they left me alone. I figured that this was the end of G. March 10th, 2019. Present day. I woke to the sound of rain falling steadily outside, a usual thing to hear this time of spring. I had been feeling better these past few weeks. With no sign of G ever coming back, I built up my mental state and I got back to focusing on my grades. I picked up my laptop from my desk and I took it to my bed, opening it instantly. The first red flag that I saw was that the tape had been removed. I figured that it was my parents at first, or that it had randomly fallen off and I hadn't noticed it. When I turned on my laptop, I went to my usual sites first. I answered messages, I upvoted stuff, and I liked pictures. I then went to Discord and I replied to Charlie's and others' messages, before I stumbled across an all-too-familiar picture. G's profile picture. In an instant, fear seemed to swallow me whole, and my whole body went into autopilot. I clicked on the message and I watched it appear. A picture of me staring at the screen in fear stared back at me. I swore that it was taken the exact same time that I had opened the message. I glanced at the caption, nausea clawing at my insides as I blinked back my tears. Throughout the blur, I was able to make out the words and I felt the hairs on my back of my neck stand up. Your porcelain face, shiny and new. Don't hide it away from my view. G.